did it. I'ma tell him I rose up. I'm a survivor. Fight for my life. I'ma get stronger. I will rise. I'm a survivor. Fight for my life. I'ma get stronger.
What's up, guys? Hope you're all well. So today we are going to be taking a look at my EFL League One table predictions for the upcoming 24-25 season. Before we get into the video, guys, please be sure to hit the like button and subscribe to this channel. We are on the road to 100 subscribers. We are now at 88 subscribers. So guys, thank you guys so much for the love and support. It really means a lot to me. And yeah, let's get straight into the predictions. Okay, so first off, in 24th place, the first team getting relegated for me, I've got Cambridge United. Now the reason why I've got Cambridge down in 24th place is simply because over the past few seasons in League One, Cambridge have been struggling quite a lot. And I feel like next season is going to be their time to go down. Obviously, I don't want Cambridge to go down. Obviously, I don't like predicting teams to go down. I don't like putting teams in the relegation zone. But if you're struggling in the League One for quite a bit, it does make people want to put you down there. And unfortunately, guys, I have put Cambridge down to go down next season. I just feel like Cambridge have been struggling too much. I feel like they're not going to have enough quality to stay up next season. And yeah, I just feel like they're going to struggle and go down. So yeah, 24th place for Cambridge United for me. Coming in at 23rd place and my second team to get relegated, I've got Shrewsbury Town. Now the reason why I got Shrewsbury Town down here is simply because last season they just didn't seem too convincing for me. They were struggling quite a bit last season. Their results weren't very convincing. They did grind out a few good wins and a few good results, but for me, they weren't very convincing. And I feel like next season, if you're not going to be convincing enough, you are going to struggle for me. And I feel like Shrewsbury, again, won't have enough quality to stay up. Yeah, this is a very difficult league for me to predict. But I just feel like Shrewsbury aren't going to have enough quality to stay up and go down in 23rd place. So yeah, 23rd place for Shrewsbury Town for me. Coming in at 22nd place and my third team to get relegated, I've got Crawley Town, the first of the newly promoted teams. Crawley Town came up to League One via the League Two playoffs. They went to Wembley, won the playoff final against Crawley Alexandra, and now they are back in League One after quite a bit, I believe. They haven't been in League One for quite a while, and I feel like the Crawley fans are absolutely buzzing to be back in this league now. However, I just don't think they're going to have enough quality to stay up. Quite a lot of people have Crawley to finish bottom of the league. I don't. I feel like they're still going to go down, but I feel like they're going to give League One a very good go. However, I just don't think they're going to have enough quality to stay up. So yeah, 22nd place for Crawley for me. Coming in at 21st place and my final team to get relegated, I've got Burton Albion. And the reason why I've got Burton Albion down here is because Burton are quite similar to Cambridge in the fact that they have been struggling in League One for quite a bit now. Over the past few seasons, we've been seeing Cambridge and Burton have a relegation scrap. They've been involved in a relegation scrap for quite a few seasons now, and I just think that Burton have a bit more fighting about them. They have a bit more fighting power, if that makes sense. I feel like Burton are going to have a very good season. However, I just have a feeling that they're just going to fall short and just fall into the trap of the relegation zone. Yeah, I just feel like Burton are just going to be a very unlucky team next season. So, yeah, 21st place for Burton Albion for me. In 20th place, and my first team just surviving relegation, I've got Exeter City. Now, the reason why I've got Exeter down here is I just think they're going to be in a little bit of a relegation scrap next season. I just have a feeling about that. Obviously, with all due respect, I do like Exeter. I think they're a good club. However, sometimes you do see teams have an okay season, but then have a little bit of a relegation scrap the next season, the following season. I just have a feeling that Exeter are going to be one of those teams where because obviously they had quite a decent finish last season. They finished either 13th or 14th. I know they finished like next to Northampton or something. However, I just feel like next season they're going to have a little bit of a drop off and be in like a relegation scrap. But I do have them surviving though. So yeah, 20th place for Exeter City for me. Coming in at 19th place on my second team just surviving relegation, I've got Northampton Town. Now last season I was really impressed with Northampton. It was their first season back in League One and they had a very good season. They finished mid-table. They grinded out some good wins, some good results, and they played some good football. But next season we've got like 4 teams coming up to League One who are going to want to do really well. You know, teams in like Stockport, Mansfield, Wrexham, and Crawley as well. They're all going to want to do really well next season in League One. And I just feel like it's going to put a little bit of pressure on Northampton a little bit. Yeah, I feel like Northampton are going to have a decent season. I feel like they're going to grind out some good wins again. However, I just have them surviving. So, yeah, 19th place for Northampton for me. Coming in at 18th place, I've got one of Northampton's promotion buddies. I've got Stevenage. I just feel like Stevenage are going to have a very good season. I feel like last season they had a very good season back in League One. They grinded out some good wins, some good results. They were even in the playoffs picture at some point as well. However, a couple of poor results, having their manager leave, it sort of halted their promotion chase for a little bit, and they ended up missing out on the playoffs, but only just. I feel like next season they're going to have a good season again, but have a little bit of a drop off. I feel like Stevenage are going to struggle a little bit more than what they did last season, next season. However, I still have them staying up. I still believe that Stevenage will stay up. So yeah, 18th place for Stevenage for me. In 17th place, I've got Bristol Rovers. Now, Bristol Rovers are pretty much a veteran to League One now. They've been promoted to this league before quite a few times. They've been relegated from this league a couple of times as well. Bristol Rovers, I feel like, are a decent League One side. I feel like in my early predictions, I underestimated Bristol Rovers a little bit because I had them finishing like 20th, just above relegation. I've boosted them up a little bit on the fact that they are a solid League One side. They do grind out some good wins here and there, and they do play some good football. Yeah, I just feel like Bristol Rovers are going to comfortably stay up. So yeah, 17th place for Bristol Rovers for me. Coming in at 16th place, I've got Leyton Orient. Now, Leyton Orient got promoted with Carlisle, Northampton and Stevenage to League One last season. Leyton Orient also had a very good season. You know, they were in the playoff picture at some point as well. They had a very good season. They grinded out some very good wins, some very good results. They played some very good football, and they ended up finishing like mid-table because of it. So yeah, Leyton Orient did really well last season. However, I've got a similar sort of reason to Leyton Orient like I had with Northampton and Stevenage, and it's that we've got like League Two teams that have come up that are going to want to do really well, and 3 of them for me are really, really strong teams, and so I feel like it's going to put a little bit of pressure on Leyton Orient. However, I do feel like Leyton Orient are still going to have a very good season and comfortably stay up. So yeah, 16th place for Leyton Orient for me. Coming in at 15th place, I've got Wycombe Wanderers. Now, Wycombe Wanderers last season had a very good finish by finishing in the top 10, just in 10th place. Wycombe Wanderers do grind out some good wins now and then. They do grind out some very good results and play some very good football. Last season, even though they had a very good finish, their whole season, their whole performance in the entire season wasn't that convincing because they were in like a relegation scrap at one point as well. I just feel like Wycombe Wanderers are a solid League One side. I do feel like they know how to stay up. They know League One quite well now. Yeah, I just feel like Wycombe Wanderers are going to have a similar season and comfortably stay up as well. So yeah, 15th place for Wycombe Wanderers for me. Coming in at 14th place, then I've got Stockport County, the winner of League Two. I just feel like Stockport were very, very good in League Two last season. They were on a unbeaten run at one point. They finished with a lot of points. They were so dominant last season. I was really impressed with them. So yeah, well done Stockport on your dominant promotion. I just feel like Stockport are going to be a very solid team next season as well in League One. I feel like teams shouldn't underestimate Stockport because Stockport are a very solid team now. Yeah, I just feel like Stockport are going to have a very good first season in League One and comfortably stay up but get mid-table as well. So yeah, 14th place for Stockport for me. In 13th place, I've got Lincoln City. Now, last season, Lincoln City had a very good season. They barely missed out of the playoffs. They finished in 7th place, so just outside the playoff picture. Lincoln City this year in 2024, they had a very good unbeaten run as well. They grinded out some big results by getting like 6-0 wins, 5-0 wins. They got some crazy results last season towards the end of it. I feel like next season, Lincoln City are going to have a good season again, but this time get mid-table. So yeah, 13th place for Lincoln City for me. In 12th place, I've got Mansfield Town, the third of the newly promoted teams. Last season, I feel like Mansfield were already League One ready because they were grinding out some crazy results here and then, including that 9-2 victory over Harrogate Town, which was a bonkers result. I feel like Mansfield are going to be a very strong team next season and finish in the top half of the table, actually. I feel like Mansfield are going to be very, very good next season. Last season in League Two, they grinded out some very good results. They dominated teams here and there as well. So yeah, I don't see why they can't stay up next season. I feel like they're going to be very good. So yeah, 12th place for Mansfield for me. In 11th place then, and just missing out of the top 10, I've got Blackpool. Now, last season, Blackpool had a very solid season. They were in the playoff picture for pretty much the entire season. However, unfortunately, they barely missed out of it. They just fell short by finishing in 8th place, which is a very solid result. Blackpool are one of my favourite League One sides, so I would love to see them get in the playoff picture or get promoted again. However, I just don't see it for some reason. I don't know. I just have a feeling that they're not going to do it next season either. I feel like Blackpool are still going to grind out some good results, play some good football. However, just fall short of the playoffs again. I feel like they're going to be in and around that playoff picture, but yeah, just fall short. So 11th place for Blackpool for me. In 10th place, just breaking into the top 10, I've got Charlton Athletic, another one of my favourite teams in League One. Last season, they didn't really have the season that they really wanted. You know, instead of going for the playoffs like a lot of Charlton fans really wanted and a lot of people probably expected them to do, they had a relegation scrap, which was a very strange sight to see because it would be very strange if Charlton ever get relegated down to League Two. But luckily for Charlton, they didn't get relegated. They ended up finishing mid-table instead. Charlton also have a former Saints coach in Nathan Jones. Nathan Jones did terrible for us when he was with us. He was terrible. I didn't really like him either. For me, he was a bit too big for his boots. He kept claiming as if he was the greatest manager in the Premier League ever. He was just a bit too big for his boots. So I feel like Charlton are going to do well with Nathan Jones next season. I think in the lower leagues, that is Nathan Jones's best position, if I'm being totally honest, because I don't think he's Premier League quality yet in Nathan Jones. However, I do feel like Charlton will do well next season. I feel like they are going to be back in a playoff race. However, I just have a feeling that they're going to just fall short. So yeah, 10th place for Charlton Athletic for me. In 9th place then, and it's another team that has a former Saints coach, it's Reading. I've got Reading to finish in 9th. I do have high hopes for Reading next season. A lot of the other people probably don't. A lot of other people probably put them mid-table again or something, because last season they were struggling a lot. They were struggling with financial issues. They had a couple of points deductions as well. I just felt really bad for Reading. I hate seeing clubs struggle like that. If clubs get relegated because they're struggling and their team isn't playing well, then it's understandable. But it's just horrible when teams get relegated because of a points deduction, especially when you're doing well in that season. Like the season before when they went in the championship, Reading were mid-table, but they then got a points deduction and they ended up falling down the table. And it's just a horrible sight to see, you know. But next season, Reading have a ex-Saints coach in Ruben Sellers. I feel like Ruben Sellers did just a little bit better than Nathan Jones, but not too much. I feel like Reading will do well with Ruben Sellers next season. I feel like they will have some good results and pick out some very good wins. However, I just feel like they're going to fall short of the playoff picture as well. So yeah, 9th place for Reading for me. Coming in at 8th place, and this placement will shock a few of you. I've got Rotherham to finish in 8th. Now, I know that's a bit shocking because a lot of people will put them in the playoff picture, put them to go straight back up in the automatics. And yes, Rotherham have had a very good transfer window. I do like their signings. However, sometimes you just see teams that have a very good transfer window but don't live up to the expectation that other people are giving them. I just feel like Rotherham are going to have a very good season, but just miss out on the playoffs, but in an unlucky way where they give it a really good go, but because other teams are doing well, I feel like they're going to just miss out a little bit. So yeah, 8th place for Rotherham for me. In 7th place then, and just missing out on the playoffs, I've got Wigan Athletic. Now, the reason why I got Wigan Athletic so high is because they're currently having a very good transfer window, and sometimes, quite a lot of times in League One, Wigan tend to do quite well. Last season, they didn't really have the season that they really wanted because they started with a points deduction, and they grinded out some good results even with the points deduction, and they finished mid-table. So I feel like if they hadn't have gotten that points deduction, they would have finished much higher. I just feel like next season Wigan are going to have a very good season, but unfortunately just miss out on the playoffs. So yeah, 7th place for Wigan Athletic for me. Okay then guys, it is time for the playoff positions. In 6th place, I've got Wrexham, the 4th newly promoted side from League 2 up to League 1. We all know the story behind Wrexham here. Wrexham have a lot of money going into them because of all their new owners and that. They've got people like Ryan Reynolds and that are going to try and put a lot of money into Wrexham and try and bring in as many good players as they can in order for Wrexham to do well. And I just feel like next season it's just going to pay off for them again. Wrexham, for the past few seasons now, they've gotten back-to-back promotions. They've been doing really well. I just feel like Wrexham are going to do really well next season as well. So yeah, 6th place for Wrexham for me. In 5th place, and my second team to reach the playoffs, I've got Barnsley. Now Barnsley are known to do quite well in League One as well. They know this league quite well. They're always very strong in League One. They're always near the playoff picture and automatics. So it wouldn't be surprising if they were in it again next season. I feel like next season Barnsley are going to have a very good season, like always, bring in some good key players and just have a very good season and finish inside the playoffs again. So yeah, quite simple. So yeah, 5th place for Barnsley for me. Coming in at 4th place, I've got Peterborough. Peterborough are my 3rd team to reach the playoffs. Peterborough are quite similar to Barnsley. Peterborough always have a very good season. They always know how to grind out some good results. Even though teams like us, Southampton, have taken some of their good players now, like we've just taken Ronnie Edwards, Peterborough do tend to find a way to bring in some good players to replace those players as well. I feel like Peterborough, just like Barnsley, are going to have a very good season, grind out some good results, play some very good football, and ultimately reach the playoffs and jump into 4th place. So yeah, 4th place for Peterborough for me. In 3rd place, and my final team to reach the playoffs, I've got Huddersfield Town. Now, Huddersfield are always known to be a strong club. They always know how to grind out good results. They always know how to play some good football, grind out some good wins. Yeah, I just feel like Huddersfield are going to be a very strong team next season. They've recently just come down from the Championship. However, Huddersfield aren't a team to be messed about with. Huddersfield are a strong club, and we all know that. So yeah, I just feel like Huddersfield are just going to have a very good season next season, like a lot of people are predicting them to. And yeah, so 3rd place for Huddersfield for me. Right then, guys, this is time for the automatic places. In 2nd place, I've got Bolton. I feel like next season is going to be Bolton's year to go up. I feel like Bolton have been waiting for this moment for quite a while now. I just feel like Bolton are going to have a very good season next season. I feel like they're finally going to get the automatics and not finish in the playoffs this time round. Yeah, I quite like Bolton. Bolton are also one of my favourite teams in League One. So yeah, massive respect to you, Bolton fans. I wish you well next season. Bolton, I just feel like are going to have a very good season like they always do down in League One. And yeah, for 2nd place for Bolton for me, I feel like you're going to go straight up in the automatic places. And finally, my champions of League One, and we all knew this was coming anyway, I've got Birmingham City. Birmingham, I feel like are just going to run away with the league. I do feel like teams are going to give Birmingham a good game next season. However, I just have Birmingham to win the league by quite a distance as well. Birmingham are also making some very good signings as well, like they're trying to get Jay Stansfield back. He'll be good for them. They're making some very good signings. Yeah, I just don't see any reason why Birmingham won't go up next season. Birmingham are going to be just so strong next season. I don't think any team are going to really be a problem for Birmingham next season. Obviously, all the teams are going to give Birmingham a good game, like I just said. But ultimately, Birmingham are just going to win the league by quite a mile as well for me. So yeah, Birmingham are my champions of League One. What did you guys think on that one? So yeah, guys, that is my official League One table predictions for the upcoming 24-25 season. I hope you all enjoyed this video. As always, please be sure to share your thoughts and your predictions down in the comments below. And also, please be sure to hit the like button and subscribe to this channel. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Goodbye, guys.